He had the looks, the charm, and the kind of fame most dream about, yet Cliff Richard never married. For decades, fans wondered why the man whose voice defined youth, hope, and love seemed destined to walk alone. Behind the spotlight, the adoration, and the success was a man caught between the life he wanted and the life he had. Now at 85, he reflects on the pressures of fame, the promises he made to God and himself, and the quiet truths that shaped his decisions for more than half a century. From Harry Webb to Cliff Richard, in post-war Britain, amid gray streets and rationed hopes, emerged a teenager named Harry Webb. Barely 18, he transformed into Cliff Richard overnight, becoming the face of British pop. Fans screamed, radios played his songs endlessly, and journalists chronicled his every step. While the world saw confidence, he felt overwhelmed. Living at home with his parents, seeking permission for simple acts, he was still a boy navigating adulthood under scrutiny. Fame came as a storm, unasked and unstoppable. Yet in that chaos, a young man began learning discipline, control, and the cost of surrendering to the world's gaze. Fame arrives too soon. Producers wanted an image to rival Elvis Presley, clean yet daring, charming yet safe. Cliff complied, rarely arguing, understanding early that survival meant control. He polished his interviews, curated his speech, and avoided scandal. Every decision became measured, every action deliberate. While others chased attention, he protected his privacy like armor. This was not shyness, but preservation. Fame had arrived before he was ready, and every piece of himself given away felt permanent. Observing peers stumble under sudden success, he vowed to maintain control and never allow emotion to dictate his path. That vow shaped his life. Discipline as salvation behind the scenes, Cliff worked tirelessly. He rehearsed until dawn, toured without pause, and smiled through exhaustion. His talent, he believed, was a gift requiring stewardship, not indulgence. While others found freedom in fame, he found order. Applause was intoxicating yet bittersweet, a reminder of what was missing: stillness, normality, connection. The boy who once dreamed of love songs began using them to keep love at a distance. Success offered everything visible, but not the space to belong to another person. The very discipline that protected him from fame's dangers also became the reason he remained alone. Love at a distance. As fame grew, so did curiosity about his private life. Fans demanded to know if he loved, and the press scrutinized every gesture. Yet Cliff's world was complex. He experienced affection, tenderness even, but always at a distance. His first serious relationship with dancer Delia Wicks promised a glimpse of a quieter life, but fame's relentless pace consumed him. Tours, films, press calls, every moment accounted for. Delia's later letter revealed the cost of his distance. She loved him, but could not wait for a man devoted to his career over her. The letter became a quiet testament to his life's choices. Opportunities lost and choices made. Other potential relationships came and went. He was charming, thoughtful, and kind, yet something always held him back. Friends recalled his ability to make women feel seen while never fully inviting them in. It was not pride, but fear, a fear of distraction from his purpose. By his late 20s, faith became central to his life. He saw marriage not merely as companionship, but as a promise he could not divide lightly. Constant travel and performance schedules made him feel incapable of providing a stable home. Love was never absent, only channeled differently through commitment to craft, faith, and responsibility. Faith and purpose. From the 1960s onward, Cliff openly embraced his faith, viewing it as both gift and duty. Romantic aspirations gave way to realism. The stage became a lifelong partner, fame a constant companion. Public fascination intensified, with reporters scrutinizing every move in search of a wife he never claimed. His kindness, his charm, and his discretion only fueled speculation, yet Cliff stayed resolute. He chose a path few could understand, believing happiness need not conform to societal standards. Marriage was one way to love, not the only one. His focus and faith defined fulfillment more than companionship ever could. The burden of recognition. By the 1970s, he was a household name. Walking down streets or entering a church became impossible without being followed. Paparazzi and fans alike sought glimpses of his private life. In the absence of proof, rumors flourished. Yet behind the speculation, he remained gentle, disciplined, and unwavering. He followed his instincts rather than public expectation. Each success, heartbreak, and friendship became part of a carefully constructed life. Loneliness existed, but not as punishment. Instead, it was the cost of a life lived with purpose, balance, and adherence to principles that safeguarded both his talent and his peace. The trade-off of fame Cliff occasionally reflects on what might have been: friends raising families, celebrating anniversaries, aging alongside partners. Yet he understands the sacrifices necessary to sustain his calling. His music, charitable acts, and lasting friendships reflect achievements that might have been impossible in another life. He did not see himself as deprived, but as preserved. Avoiding distractions and heartbreak allowed him to devote himself fully to purpose. The life he led may have defied conventional expectation, yet it provided clarity, freedom, and a sense of mission that defined every decision he made. A life of endurance time has softened his features and slowed his steps, but not his gratitude. He still performs records and greets audiences as if each moment could be his last. He acknowledges occasional loneliness, particularly in quiet moments, yet does not view it as misfortune. Instead, it is part of the balance he chose. The discipline that prevented scandal also shaped his longevity, allowing him to navigate decades of fame without losing integrity. In a world consumed by fleeting attention, Cliff maintained control, steadiness, and dignity, proving that fulfillment can exist outside traditional definitions of love and companionship. Redefining love and legacy. Cliff Richard's story is less about solitude and more about clarity. He chose a path guided by faith, purpose, and discipline, embracing love differently through music, service, and loyalty. Romantic relationships were not the measure of his life's richness. Instead, love was expressed in every song, every act of kindness, every gesture shared with fans and friends. His legacy reflects consistency and generosity, surpassing the fleeting passions of fame. At 85, he remains a symbol of grace, showing that fulfillment arises not from conforming to societal expectations, but from staying true to one's values, gifts, and beliefs. The peace of conviction. When asked what he would tell his younger self, he responds simply, "You did what you were meant to do." These words reflect neither pride nor regret, but the calm of a man who found love in faith, purpose in solitude, and fulfillment in authenticity. Loneliness was never a punishment. It was a choice, aligned with a greater plan. Through decades of music, friendship, charity, and spiritual devotion, Cliff has shown that life can be meaningful without following conventional scripts. The discipline that kept him single also preserved his creativity, joy, and capacity to inspire millions. A life fully lived Cliff. Richard never married, yet he never lacked love. His world was rich with fans, friendships, and faith, all of which sustained him in ways romantic partnerships might not have. His story is not one of sacrifice, but of fulfillment, one that shows the power of purpose, self-discipline, and integrity. In an industry often defined by scandal and excess, he stands out as a symbol of steadfastness. Each performance, song, and act of generosity became his version of love, shared widely, multiplied, and never withheld. He lived completely on his own terms, leaving a legacy that transcends traditional measures of happiness.